Hello everyone, welcome to this Biomarked Health Education program. First of all, I want to congratulate you that you took this step where you wanted to work on your health and you want to be fit, you want to be healthy. When we talk about the program, we have really crafted the best for you. You will have access to great coaching, great mentoring, and along with that, I'll be your co-buddy who is guiding and mentoring you, and I'll be your health educator for this healthy weight loss program. So without wasting much time, let's dive straight right in and understand what we have in store for you. If I talk about HWL, it's healthy weight loss, right? So why have we named it healthy weight loss? There are tons and tons of programs out there in the market that do there are different meal plans available, right? We call it healthy weight loss because this is the best and the most sustainable approach. We want you not to just lose weight, do it the right way, and also get educated alongside, right? So I will be explaining you the logic of why that specific meal has been recommended to you and what are we going to do on this entire program. On this program, our goal is not just to lose weight, but our goal is to actually work on your entire wellness. The ideation behind designing the program is not just to get you to this X, you are at X kilos right now, and from X we take you to Y. Weight is just a number, but what we fundamentally want you to feel that how it feels to be healthy, right? There are a lot of people who are in the ideal weight range, but they're not healthy, right? So health has 6 pillars, and we call them the 6 pillars of health, or you can call them the 6 pillars of wellness, right? So the first pillar is nutrition. That is what you eat. That is something that we're going to heavily focus on and work on, right? The second is movement, exercise. The times that we're living in as of now, you see in the last 10-20 years, the lifestyles have become really sedentary. If you see our ancestors, they used to move, right? They used to hunt, they used to gather, they were farmers. And the human DNA cannot transform in 50 years. The mutation cannot happen in such a short period of time. So for our body to function ideally, there has to be an adequate movement plan that we're going to help you out with. The next is sleep. Sleeping at least 6 to 8 hours every day is an absolute must. And good quality sleep is something that we're going to focus on the program. Then comes your stress. Now, stress management, while I say that we'll help you completely get off stress, but that is not practically possible, and we don't also promise that. But we will give you techniques where you will be able to effectively manage your stress. That is what we're going to fundamentally focus on. The next part is belongingness. You have to feel belonged to a community. That is why we operate in a community model, and the entire Biomark team will be there to support you, to help you to pull off your weight goals, right? Because we strongly believe that together it's easier. Together it's easier to achieve your health, and together we all can proceed and we can bring a wellness revolution, right? The last part is toxicity. Toxicity basically what toxicity means is that you want to eliminate all form of toxins from your food, removing toxins from your environment. We will talk more about it as we proceed in the future weeks of our program, right? So let us first align the goals. I'm pretty sure that you would have aligned your goals, you would have spoken to your coach in depth about your program, but I also want to help you to keep a very strong sync with your coach on these goals. You might agree, you might not agree, but what we feel from our experience that from a wellness point of view, if you are able to achieve these goals on the program, you will definitely be well off. So the first goal is that you want to reverse your obesity and you want to get into the ideal weight range. We are absolutely aligned with you on this part of the program. Second is you want to get your biomarkers into range. What are biomarkers? So a lot of people, as I said, they are in the ideal weight range, they are healthy. But if you get their blood test done, you will find really the biomarkers out of range. We want all your blood parameters to be in range. That is the real definition of health. You want that you are healthy from inside, right? If you are able to achieve that, we are sorted. The second is that you should be health educated. This should be the last health program that you ever do. You should know the fundamentals of wellness, right? You should know that why I am doing what I am doing. If you have any questions, we would really encourage you to come up and ask. you should really ask, you should really question your coach that why are you giving me this, what is the use of this, and we are more than happy to really explain you to depth why we are recommending what we are recommending, right? So third point is strengthening your pillars of wellness. I just talked about the 6 pillars. So over the course of time, we would want to give you effective techniques where you can strengthen your 6 pillars of wellness. And the last one, that is the most important, we'll educate you, we'll coach you, we'll mentor you, we'll do everything for you on the program. But the last part is that all in all, the program, I feel, is just 10% of the journey. 90% of your journey is how do you do after you finish the program, and that can only be achieved if you have built some really strong wellness habits. So habits are something that we have to very strongly focus on. So I would say, I said I'll be your co-buddy, but to build habits, you have to keep in touch. You will have to hold the hand of your coach, and he's the one who's going to help you build habits. So moving on to the next part. The next part is more about, I would want to explain you the fundamentals of meal planning. I'll give you a broad framework. I think so your coach will be the ideal person to actually customize a specific meal plan for you, but I would want to give you a broad framework, and the alignment, the final call, or you can say what is the right thing for you, that your coach or your mentor and advisor will tell you. But the broad framework is something that I would want to help you understand. So this is how your meal plate should actually look like. So there are 3 fundamental aspects of a meal plate. Okay, there are your vegetables and salads, then there's a component of fat and protein, and then there is a component of complex low glycemic index carbohydrates. I will explain you, don't worry about the terms, nothing is very heavy. I just want to tell you nutrition is very simple. Things are very, very overcomplicated in the market. Hence, I just want to keep it as simple as possible. And trust me, the meals that are shown, exotic things, they're not of much value, right? The only thing that you need is your home cooked food, eaten in the right proportion. That's it, plain and simple. That is what nutrition is. So this is how your meal plate should actually look like. So if you see, there's a component of vegetables in the form of salads. There's a bowl of curd. There's a component of fat and protein. So in salads you have cucumber, carrot, beetroot. Then second is your paneer, right? And the last is your complex carbs and millets roti. And there are also some almonds and all, right? So salads have to be eaten first. The first thing that you do is eat your fiber, right? After that, you jump onto your fat and protein, right? And the last aspect is, if the stomach allows, you should have your complex carbohydrates, that is in the form of roti, millets, quinoa, whatever your coach has recommended you. But what we need to understand, the first thing is always your fiber, your vegetables. Let me give you one more. I'll give you 2-3 examples so that you should basically understand the logic. We don't want to keep a foundation that this is what you should eat, this is what you should not eat. We just want to give you a broad framework. You eat anything within that framework, you customize your own meals. That is exactly what we want. We want to empower you. So if you see this meal plate, you will see again salads, cucumber, carrot, and some sauteed vegetables. Then there are egg. Always have the complete egg. The biggest myth is just have the egg white. You should have the complete egg. The majority nutrition lies in the egg yolk, right? Then that is a component of fats and proteins. And in complex carbs, you will see some millets in between. So salads goes first, second goes your fat and protein, and if your appetite allows, go for the complex carbs in the last. One more example, right? If you are a non-vegetarian, so you can first salads, second is your fat and protein, that is your chicken and dal. Also dal, I would say dal is a source of carbohydrates and a source of protein, right? So we don't consider dal as a source of protein. We would say dal is more like a complex carbohydrate, right? And then is your complex carbohydrates in the form of dal. There are tons and tons of recipes. It is not difficult. The meal planning that we help people do is very simple, right? If you discuss with your coach, he will lay out tons and tons of options for you, right? And you can play around with them. Absolutely no problem. Just the only thing that we want is that you should be eating within the template, right? I'll give you a 8-point list in the next slide, where I want to tell you that this is the 8-point framework that you should follow. So quick meal planning recap. Your fats and proteins is your paneer, tempeh, eggs, chicken and fish. That is your first component of this is your fat and protein. In salads are your cucumber, tomatoes, any vegetable that is available at your place, locally available, easily available, that comprises your salads. And in complex carbs, you can have millets, dals, quinoa, chickpeas, black gram, right? So this is a very broad framework. All you need to know is that these things exist, but the final call for the custom meal planning will be with your coach. So your coach, your mentor, your advisor, he's the one who's actually going to tell you that this is the meals that is rightly recommended for you, because what I'm telling you is a framework, but to rule out any form of complication, your coach will be the ideal person to explain you in depth that this is a specific meal plan that is recommended for you. And you always remember the order. Salads go in first, fats and proteins go in next, complex carbs go in last if the appetite allows, right? Now, this is a B8. We call it the biomarked 8 key principles. Adopt the B8 to hit your ideal weight. Come on, repeat. Adopt B8 to hit your ideal weight. B8 weight. B8 ideal weight. That's it. You just need to keep these 8 principles in mind. I'm going to call out these principles in the future lessons, in the future courses that the future course videos will actually get into the depth of these things. But as of now, take a leap of faith, trust us, and adopt this B8. Eliminate added sugar in your diet. If you're eating any packaged food, click a picture of that food and share it with your coach. Eliminate all forms of added sugars. We'll deep dive on this point in future videos. Reduce your consumption of refined grains. What are refined grains? They are basically your refined maida, right? Any form of atta in which components of fiber and suji have been removed. So anything that is refined, that is not natural, is a refined grain. So you need to remove all forms of refined grain, and the major one I can say is your maida. And maida is the core, it's the base of your bread, your Maggi, everything, right? You need to ensure adequate protein intake. 1 to 1.2 grams of protein for 1 kg of ideal body weight is absolutely necessary. You can follow the protein chart, align with your coach, sit with him and understand what's the ideal requirement for you and how you can complete that. You need to ensure adequate movement. For a start, I would say in the first week of the program, you might just want to adjust if there's a stark change in your meals. So adjust, but after that, let's put the body into movement. Movement is absolutely essential because, as I said, your DNA cannot mutate at the pace in such a short period of time. So if our ancestors, I would say, were active in movement, so for the optimum function of the body, we have to ensure that we are maintaining muscle mass and we are not losing muscle mass because of lack of movement, right? Fifth point is you should ensure your salad intake before every meal. Salads go in first. Absolutely. You should not fear the fat. Fat is not bad for your heart health. Healthy fat is good. That is why your coach is going to work with you to incorporate good amount of fat in your diet. And always remember, fat and protein will always coexist. Healthy fat will always coexist with protein. If you take the example of paneer, if you take the example of eggs, if you take the example of chicken, fish, all of them are rich in fats and proteins, right? You need to balance your feeding and fasting windows. Ideally, we recommend 16 hours of fasting, but as of now, since you're just starting your program, you should not be doing 16 hours of fasting. Let's start maybe with 12 hours, 14 hours. Again, sit with your coach and you need to balance your feeding and fasting windows. And the last one is fulfill your nutrition gap with vitamins and minerals. I'm pretty sure that in the first call, your coach would have talked about vitamins and minerals. So you need to add the recommended vitamins and minerals to fulfill your nutrition gap. I'm going to really deep dive on this part because this is a taboo especially in some developing countries. If you see more European countries, they are pretty much, they feel it's pretty normal to consume a multivitamin or take any herbs to fulfill the nutrition gaps. But in countries like India, where the health education or the health awareness is not of that extent, so people are not that aware. Hence, I'm going to cover this in depth in the next week. So great, I hope that you will adopt B8, you understand the concept of meal planning, and you will be able to strengthen your 6 pillars of wellness. Get biomarked.